Hi, everyone. I'm Maya Norwood. Welcome to our Connections That Count platform.
And I'm Jackie St. Peter, and welcome back. This week, we wanted to talk to you about how to network around the holidays or during the holidays without letting people know you're networking. A lot of times, I don't know about you, but sometimes my family doesn't know what I do, and so being in the networking world, um, I don't want to be annoying, but also, does your family know what you do? Like, if you're a realtor, does your family know you're a real estate agent? Because a lot of times they don't. So, Maya, how do you network without letting people know that that's what you're really doing?
Well, I think there's two different parts to this. And I like how you hit on that because a lot of times our family and friends don't really know what we do or who good connections for us are. But oftentimes they'll ask us simple questions like, what's new? Right. So it's an easy question to be like, oh, well, what's new this year? I bought a franchise. This is who I'm looking to connect with, right? You're not even doing it like in a big, like, hey, could you help me? It's just I'm stating what you asked, right? So making it kind of just part of the conversation when people are trying to catch up with you, because a lot of times that happens this time of year as people are trying to catch up. But the other cool part about networking, and maybe I should actually see if you have anything to add to that before I jump to the other side of it.
No, and, I was just going to add to that where sometimes we don't know what our families do, right? If you have a police officer in your family, that's different. We know what they do, firefighter, nurse, whatever. But sometimes people are in business and we really don't know what they do. And I remember when I asked my uncle a couple questions about what he does, and I realized he could be a great networking partner for a friend of mine, and I was able to connect them together. So being inquisitive about what your family and your friends do too um, is really important. It's not just about it. We've talked about this. It's not just about us, right? If you start with asking them questions, they feel very heard, and it makes the conversation a lot easier.
Yeah, and I think like you said, when you find out or when you find out what they do, kind of seeing who you can connect them with, but also having in the back of your head how to answer the questions about what's new. Like, who am I looking to connect with? Who would be the best connection for us or for myself? So when they do ask a question, you actually have that answer ready for them and aren't like, well, I just, introduce me to anybody, or I'd like to talk to everyone, but actually have some specific people or professions or things that you would like help with, simple things that they could potentially have answers to. But the other side of that equation is, if you are networking, bring how do you listen to your conversation around any party or dinner table and figure out, do people here need my network? Right, I think that's huge this time of year, because a lot of times people are talking about the things going on in their lives, which typically is a problem or an event or something. And if we're listening carefully, we can be taking notes on, oh, you know what? After the holidays, not here, not at the dinner table when we're having Thanksgiving dinner, or we're having a big party, right? But afterwards, I could follow up and say, hey, I remember you mentioned that you're having a big party. Do you have a great event space? Or do you have a great photographer? Or do you have fill in the blank, and use your network to help those people that you're having your dinner parties with.
Yeah, I was just at a networking event a week or two ago, and the divorce attorney said, "So, guys, if you're sitting around the Thanksgiving table and you see that some of your family members aren't getting along like they used to, there's plenty of business cards that you could pass out for me." But it's true. I mean, we're joking about it, but you never know what you notice that's going on in people's lives, and sometimes you just haven't talked to them in such a long time, maybe since last holiday. So just to be very, inquisitive and my grandmother used to say we have two ears for a reason, like to stop talking and listen to what they're really saying. And there might be someone in your network that could help them with whatever problem. Hopefully it's not a bad thing like a divorce, but whatever problem they're having, getting married, having a baby, all those life events that we have such a great network to be able to help them with.
Yeah, even things as like I'm remodeling my bathroom or I have to repaint the house and I don't want to do it, right? I mean, little things, they don't have to be major life events, but just I think it's just making sure we're tuning our minds into like actually listening to what they're saying so that
Yeah,
again, follow up afterwards. If you start following up and being like, "Oh, I have someone." Oh, people are going to not want to talk to you, right? They're not going to want to invite you to their parties. Follow up after. I think it's a great way to help.
yeah. So we hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving this week, and keep your ears open. And again, if there's things you want to hear about for our little networking tips, we'd love to hear what you'd like to hear about, or we'll have you on and talk about some of your networking tips. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving.
Yep. Happy holidays, everyone.